I'm going to destroy Android because it's a stolen product. I'm willing to go thermonuclear war on this. I will spend my last dying breath if I need to, and I will spend every penny of Apple's $40 billion in the bank to right this wrong. What could have made Apple's founder, Steve Jobs, so angry that he would threaten to destroy Google's newest product? Well, let's go back to 2001. This is the year that the World Trade Center is attacked. It's the year that the world sees its first privately funded tour of outer space. It's also the year that Larry Page and Sergey asked their hero, Steve Jobs, if he would be the CEO of their startup. The startup is Google, and it's only 3 years old. Jobs turns down their offer. He's already the CEO of Apple, a company that's been in existence for more than 20 years and is doing quite well. But he can see the potential in Google, so he offers to mentor the two budding entrepreneurs. Over the next few years, Apple and Google share a close relationship, and that's because they're not competitors. Apple is a computer and consumer electronics company, and Google is a search company, so there are no conflicting interests. In fact, the relationship is so friendly that in 2006, Google CEO Eric Schmidt is elected to Apple's board of directors, and this means that Google has more insight into the inner workings of Apple than most. Around this time, Apple is working on a top secret project, a new phone. It's unlike any other mobile phone on the market. It includes visual voicemail, a soft keyboard, and a feature that allows users to pinch and zoom in. In January 2007, Apple introduces this device to the public. It's called the iPhone. 11 months later, Google introduces its Android operating system, and this is where Apple and Google's relationship begins to take an unexpected turn. Jobs may have known that Google was working on Android, but he most definitely didn't know that this operating system would be eerily similar to the iPhone. It looks like the iPhone. It feels like the iPhone. It even has the iPhone's signature touchscreen features. And to add insult to injury, Google made Android's operating system open source. This means that anyone can inspect, modify, and enhance it. In other words, anyone can create a phone similar to the iPhone. This is in direct contrast to the way Apple does business. The company is known for keeping everything closed and private. Jobs is furious. He feels betrayed by the men he's been mentoring, and what's more, he believes that Google has stolen the iPhone's most innovative features. The goodwill between Apple and Google has all but disappeared. The companies are now full-blown competitors, and the tension is thick. Google CEO Eric Schmidt resigns from Apple's board of directors, and not long after, he sets up a meeting with Jobs in hopes of a settlement. During this meeting, Jobs makes his position very clear. I don't want your money. If you offer me $5 billion, I won't want it. I've got plenty of money. I want you to stop using our ideas in Android. That's all I want. The two companies are unable to come to an agreement. Apple's current COO, Tim Cook, is quoted as saying, "We like competition as long as they don't rip off our intellectual property. And if they do, we will go after anyone who does." And the company makes good on this promise. Apple sues every company that is running the Android operating system, such as Samsung and HTC. This also includes Motorola, the manufacturer owned by Google. The biggest players in the mobile sector become embroiled in a patent war that lasts for several years. But in 2014, there's a ceasefire between Apple and Google. They agree to drop all of their lawsuits against each other. The companies prefer to focus on innovation and marketplace competition. And this brings us back to the present day. Things have changed. Tim Cook is now the CEO of Apple, and Google's CEO is Sundar Pichai. To most, this grudge, the vow that Steve Jobs made to right a wrong, has vanished. Seemingly, it faded away with the ceasefire. But two former Apple engineers insist that Apple has neither forgiven nor forgotten. They say Apple is in a silent war with Google, and this may be more than just a wild theory. You see, there are three main areas that make Google the giant that it is. It dominates in maps, search, and online ads. And over the last few years, Apple has been making significant improvements in three areas: maps, search, and online ads. Admittedly, the idea of Apple nursing a decade-old grudge against Google does seem somewhat absurd. After all, this isn't a superhero series where the long-suffering Apple rises to destroy Google, the big tech villain, in hopes of bringing justice to the abuse of power and corruption that has long plagued the mobile phone industry. No. In real life, these are companies, and companies will do what's in the best interest of their bottom lines. But then again, it's hard to overlook the fact that Apple still has a score to settle. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and why not watch another one?